This is WWP Weekly Wrestling Podcast.
I'm here following PWG Battle of Los Angeles Night 2 with Mark Andrews. How's it going, man?
It's going well, buddy. It's fun, man. That show was sick, right?
Jesus Christ, what a show, what a show.
It was awesome, man.
You were involved in the show, or you were involved in yesterday's show, I should say, as you took on Mr. Will Ospreay in the first round. Unfortunately, a losing effort, but a fantastic match to boot. Talk a little bit about it, man.
Yeah, well, thank you for saying it was excellent, my friend.
My match of the night, personally.
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, me and Will, we go way back. You know, both growing up in the British scene. I mean, I started wrestling when I was like, 13 years old or whatever, and Will came around a few years later, but as soon as he came on the scene, it was boom. Everyone was paying attention to Will, because he's one of the most incredible high-flying wrestlers in the world right now, to be honest. So I was desperate to get in the ring with him. We had a few matches in the UK, and that's led us to here in PWG, which is fantastic because it's kind of a small dream come true. PWG is probably one of the perfect places for me and Will to have our match. So it was awesome for us to be able to wrestle at Bola this year. I loved the match last night. As you said, a losing effort, which sucks for me, but I'm happy for Will to go through to the next round, and I was really happy to wrestle him in my debut at PWG because one of my favorite opponents, and I love being in the ring with him.
You're a big advocate of defending independent wrestling. What better way to do it than here at PWG, right?
Exactly. I mean, PWG is a fine example of how much independent wrestling can affect the world. And look at the trailer views on YouTube. Look at the DVD sales. People are paying attention to independent wrestling, and PWG is a fine example of that, as I've said a minute ago, along with Progress in the UK, Progress Wrestling, with the guys in Australia currently with the scene over there. It's growing incredibly big. PWG though is the place which everywhere follows, I
absolutely agree.
I'm psyched to be here.
Now, people know you as well as a TNA iMPACT wrestling star. Talk a little about your run with the promotion thus far, what your thoughts are on it, and the criticism that the promotion sometimes gets.
TNA, if I'm honest, I love being there. It's a massive learning curve for me.
How have the tapings been, I gotta ask? Those long tapings, it's gotta be brutal on the body.
I mean, it's brutal, but it's a job, and it's work. And I'll be honest, over the years of working on the independents, you learn to train your body to work under worse conditions, because you don't get good sleep. You're sleeping in an airport, you're sleeping in the backs of vans when you're traveling around the place. At least in TNA, you have solid catering, you have a solid, hotel bed, and it's a luxury for me, in all fairness. I never thought that I'd be able to live a life where I was wrestling and being treated this well, and being in a company that large who can accommodate us in such a way that they do. So I've been loving my time in TNA. It's been incredible. It's been a good opportunity for me as well to live in America, which has been a dream of mine since I was a kid as well. So.
Absolutely. This is not the only time America's going to see you over the next little while. You're going to be back for Chikara's King of Trios. You did it last year and you're back this year. Talk a little bit about the experience.
I mean, I absolutely love Chikara. Chikara, along with PWG, is another promotion which I've been watching since I was early teenager. 12 years old onwards when I started training. I was watching Chikara, PWG, I was studying guys from those promotions. So it's awesome that now, within the same week of each other, I can wrestle for PWG at Bola and King of Trios with Chikara, two of the biggest tournaments in wrestling today, and I get to be a part of both of them. So I'm psyched. Last show was incredibly fun. This year's going to be even better, I can tell.
Absolutely, absolutely. Talk a little bit about working for such promotions as AAW, Dreamwave, St. Louis, Anarchy.
Those places, man, I loved it. 2 years ago, I came out here with my tag team partner, Pete Dunne. We literally came out for 10 weeks. We had no plans. We had one place in Philly we were working for, and we had 10 weeks sleeping on floors, just trying to scrounge for bookings, and it was the best time of my life. We ended up getting, loads of bookings, which was great. Going all around America, we wrestled in 10 states altogether. It was the best time of my life, genuinely. And working for Dreamwave, for example, they took care of us. They were great with us, an awesome experience. The scene up there in the Chicago area is incredible. AIW as well, great performing in front of that crowd. It was great. St. Louis Anarchy, hot crowd as ever, and it's weird because in America everything's so
I was just gonna ask, what's the difference between the American and the UK crowds?
Well, in Britain right now, if I'm completely honest, is the hottest place on earth. I know I'm slightly biased.
No, PCW, Progress, I've seen that
Progress,
stuff,
ICW,
that's it, man.
So, and even the places that are a little bit, a bit smaller than those places, they're just so regular. They're bringing in crowds, they're selling out crowds constantly, and because it's such a small space, but they're so hungry for wrestling.
Look at PWG, man.
Exactly, but I mean, the small space in terms shows over the country. You know, everything is 3 hours apart, so you can do. A lot of guys back there can do 2 shows in one day. You know what I mean? And like every weekend is packed, not just for the wrestlers but for the crowd as well. You know, a lot of wrestling fans will travel on the weekend, and we'll get to like 3 or 4 shows on a weekend. It'll be insane. But with that being said, you know, the American indie scene is incredible as well. The only difference is that it's so spaced out that it's harder to get around, and it's almost harder to make a name for yourself, I feel, out here, because obviously you've got to travel so far, and you've got to grow in like each scene together, whereas in the UK it's one scene, and it's hot as fuck at the moment. So yeah, so everybody check out the British scene. I
was literally just about to give you a chance to throw out some promotions, some names for people to look at.
I'd say you know, to be biased, Attack Pro Wrestling is my promotion, based in Wales. We do hilarious shows with some of the best talent in the UK. Dressing up as video game characters, fighting each other.
Wow,
it's hilarious.
Awesome.
Hey, if you want to see me wrestle as Pikachu, go check out Attack Pro Wrestling.
Great.
But other than that, you know, check out ICW in Scotland, check out Progress Wrestling in London. I'm trying to think what else. Fight Club Pro in Wolverhampton, SWA in Shropshire, just Dragon Pro Wrestling in Newport.
Sounds like the UK independent wrestling scene is just
booming.
As booming. Yeah,
just type in British
man.
Wrestling on YouTube and go for it. Hey, if you want to watch World of Sport, go back to the day, you know what I mean? Go watch some of the old stuff. Anything in Britain, it's all gold, I swear to God.
And let's give you a chance to put over yourself, throw out some plugs, throw out some Defend Independent Wrestling plugs.
Well, okay, so you got my Twitter at Mandrews TNA, the Defend Indie Wrestling clothing brand. Check us out on defendindiewrestling.com or on Twitter at Defend Indie Rest. If you want to check out Attack Pro Wrestling and see me wrestle as Pikachu, that's at Attack Wrestling on Twitter. Check us out on Facebook as well, Attack Pro Wrestling, Defend Indie Wrestling, White Lightning Mark Andrews. I've got so many more plugs, but I'll end it on download my new video game app, Mandrews Time to Fly. On
Has somebody hit 100
yet? People have hit 300. The high score is 300 or just over. So if you want to outdo that, you know, hit me up on Twitter.
It's only what, 119 or something on the App Store?
It's like 79p, which is probably like $1.
Support the man. Support the man. Easy way to do it. Easy way to do it.
Man.
Thank you very much for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.